Hello, everyone. On behalf of Team MIST, I congratulate and welcome Dr. Arulmaran, who is from Kursk University, Russia, who had scored 199 in this July FMG 2023 examination. So, Dr. Maran, many congratulations to you on this great success in this FMG examination.
Thank you so much, madam. I want to thank entire MIST team.
It's our privilege, beta, our privilege. So you were from offline batch, Chennai.
Yes, madam.
And you are from Chennai. So how you were able to get this success? Do you want to share your secrets with your junior aspirants?
Yes, madam, I would like to. There are few points that I have followed through the journey. The first thing is I used to answer a lot in the classes. That's the key point for my success. What I mean is when I used to answer in classes, it means I'm gathering the content which I taught in class itself. So when I go home at the end of the day, for me to revise the topics which taught by the faculties on that day, it took me like half a time to revise. Like if example, if a student is so attentive in class, then only he can answer. It means he's gathering more contents inside him and he is giving answer as output. Being simply in a class won't helpful that much. And for straight 8 to 10 hours, student can't be like focused towards the faculty. But if students put effort to answer a lot in a class, it means is like without effort is so attentive in a class. It's like the effort will be off. It will be easy. And the next thing, I used to like complete the topics which I taught by the teachers on the day itself. And once I complete the topics, I used to solve the questions like which are similar like to the topics, the questions from the topics.
Okay, so Dr. Maran, I think you had told two very important points, and I think everybody should follow that if you are attending offline classes. And I can say that you can also remember that in my classes, I used to tell the same thing before starting my first day, that you should be physically as well as mentally present in the class. So you had followed the same thing, that you were physically present also and you were mentally present also. And once you are present there, yes.
I think this is the key point that which helped me to score like a pass mark in exam, because I still remember the questions which I answered wrongly in the classes. The teacher corrected me. I remember those questions, and few questions like which like I answered wrongly and teacher corrected me. Those questions appeared in exam.
Great. So at least you were attentive and you were grasping the things by properly listening, and when the teacher was asking and you were able to recall. So this means that exercise, what usually the students do at home, you were doing in the class only, that you were trying to understand, you were trying to grasp, and you were trying to recall. And yes, as you correctly said, that if we make the mistake somewhere and if anybody corrects it, we remember it forever. And you are rightly saying that some of the questions had been asked in the examination. So you might have remembered at that point, I had answered it wrong, and then the teacher has corrected me. So that's a very important key for your success in the examination. And the second thing is, again, as we had a very long offline duration of the classes, so on the same particular day, you were trying to cover up the things what has been taught in the examination. Excellent. Anything else you want to add up for your juniors?
Yes, madam. Students should prepare like they should not expect exam to be easy. They should always prepare like exam is going to be hard, and so I'm going to prepare hard. So if we do the practice continuously, like is preparing hard. At the end of the mm, at the like on the day of the exam will be easy. Even though the questions will be hard, if he prepares so much hard, like he should mentally fix that exam will be hard, and he should prepare hard, and so the on the day of the exam will be easy. This is what I used to do, madam. Like before, like 2 months from the exam, I tell myself the exam going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. So I used to tell myself it's going to be hard. So prepare hard. Also on the day of the exam, it was like a bit easy for me to solve.
Excellent, beta. Excellent. So this is again very, very important. I can say the secret success mantra of Dr. Maran, that if we are preparing for worst thing, and if you are getting a very easy paper, you feel okay, very happy. But if you had mentally prepared yourself for the first thing, and if you are facing the very hard question paper, still your morale is not down. You are stable because you had already prepared yourself for that thing. So very, very important thing is that don't expect कि paper easy आना चाहिए या paper जो है बिल्कुल बहुत simple आना चाहिए. Prepare yourself for the worst, the most difficult paper which can be possible in the history. You have to prepare yourself for the worst paper, and if it is little bit easy, you are very easily or very easily are able to do that question paper, and you will not be demotivated. Very, 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 very good point, Dr. Maran. Any other thing? Because I could understand that there's so many secrets hidden inside your heart and your brain. So I
No,
just
madam,
want
these
to
are the
listen
things
all
I
of
used
you.
to follow. These are the things I used to follow. Like I used to study alone, like myself. I don't used to do group studies, but I used to discuss the things which I not understand. Sometimes I used to discuss with my friends. Those are also passed in exam.
Great.
Um, the first thing is another thing about a group study. If a student is going to do group study, he or she should go through the topic once without going blindly for group study. Because when a when a student is going to group study, a friend of her is explaining, the explaining student will remember more. The student who is listening will remember less. This is the point, madam. If the student go through the topic once, and then if he goes like for the group study, then it will be helpful, madam. We should study the topic entirely by ourselves, and then we should discuss the questions. Simply going into the group study won't help, madam. We should know the topic by ourselves, and then we should discuss. Like if I am seeing a topic in an aspect, my friend will see the topic in a different aspect, madam. This will give you the ideas of questions, like possibility of questions, madam.
Great, great. So another very important message is that those who are doing group study, first you should be doing your self-study of the topic, and then the group study is only for the discussion, for recalling the things, for clarifying your doubts, which you are not able to clarify. You can ask from your colleagues, and it should not be only for the simple reading, because every person is having its own speed of the reading, its own technique or the own style of reading. So you first read it and then discuss. And one very important point also, doctor, you had pointed out that more we will speak out, the more we will be able to remember. So in the group study, you should try to explain more things to the others, and you should be able to have a good confidence over that. Then only you are able to explain to the others. So once you are explaining, you have to read that area twice, thrice more. So those areas which you are explaining again and again, that becomes your solid areas. So again, very important key, just before the group discussion study, revise or the read at your own, and try to discuss more or try to explain more in there as a group study, so you'll be able to recall better in the examination. Very good, excellent. Anything else you want to share?
And then, madam, on the end of the session, mean the before an exam, like 1 month or 2 months, he or she should complete almost around at least 80% of content of the like which are present in the material, and then like regularly they should solve the questions which have hard like the the questions body should be hard. So they should practice the question regularly, so that on the day of exam, even the body of questions will be hard. The way of solving will be easy. It will be more easy to solve. So they should get used to the questions, like, oh, I saw it somewhere else. So like that, they should get used to the hard questions, madam. Like, they should know how to solve the questions easily. I used to do
Okay.
it. I used to solve at least 400 questions a day, like different from all the subjects. From all the subjects, I used to cover the contents throughout the day. Whenever I feel tired or bored, I go through the questions, madam. I go through the questions like 50 questions in a break or some, like whenever I used to get the time. So on the day of exam, it helped me a lot, madam. Even the body of question was hard. I able to unmask the question, like dissect the question. I was able to dissect the question.
Great.
In the last exam, July 30, the questions were asked from our material, from missed material. If a person completed our missed material around like 100%, I'm sure that he can score above 220, madam. 220, I'm sure. But the aspect of questions and the body of questions only different, but the contents are same in the exam, madam. I felt that.
Huh. So another very important secret of Dr. Maran is that you should try to practice more and more questions, maybe in a difficult, twisted language. So your body is tuned to see those questions, read those questions, understand those questions, dissect those questions, and you should be able to recall the things from that particular question, should be able to identify the keywords, and then you can identify the correct answer for that. So I just want to ask you whether you were practicing these practice MCQs from the beginning or after 2 months, 3 months when all the subjects has been done and then you have started doing this MCQs.
Ma'am, first of all, I have gone through the content, madam. There is no point of solving MCQs without knowing the content, madam. I made sure that I at least completed 70 or 80 percentage of content, and then I practiced questions, madam. Because if I solve the questions without knowing the content, there is no use of it, madam. I felt so. So I completed the 80%, at least the minimum 80 percentage of content, and then I used to solve the questions and I used to cover the contents which I left on the end of the session, like 2 months before the exam. I used to do a lot of mock tests also, madam. I
So
used to
another,
score
huh,
like 66% in almost in all the mock, same which I got in exam also, madam.
almost consistency was there.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah. So another, I think, important message is that don't try to solve the questions from the day one of your study, because at least you have to cover minimum 80% of the syllabus. Once you know the basic content, then only you can solve the MCQs better. So you should be solving the MCQs around the 2 months before, 2.5 months before your due date for the examination. Don't jump for solving the MCQs from the day one of joining any of your syllabus on any of your platform. Okay? So that is again a very, very important secret of success of Dr. Maran. Anything else you want to add up?
That's all, madam. I want to tell the students to be don't be too hard on themselves. Be relaxed. Don't be too much confident or too low confident. Be like consistent. Be consistent that you can do it. Prepare hard. That tell yourself that exam will be hard. So I'm preparing hard. So on the day of exam, it will be so much helpful, madam. It will help them to solve the questions easily.
Great. So I just want to ask Dr. Maran the last question from you, that it is a roller coaster journey and you might be feeling sometimes very confident up and sometimes quite low also, that, oh, I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. So how you were able to manage or cope up in that duration?
Madam, whenever I feel too much confident, I tell myself it's a false positive. I tell myself, you are feeling it. No, you are not this much. So you should like lower your confidence, go through the material. When I feel too low, I tell myself, you know, bit more than what you feel. So I used to keep between two, like between the low and high confidence, madam. I used to be a consistent. So that's what helped me to like throughout the journey, madam. Whenever
Great.
I feel like a too confident, I tell myself, don't be too confident. You will be stupid at the end. So I feel like I lower my confidence myself, and then I keep on go through the materials, madam. Sometimes I
Great.
used to like take a break. Like in a week, I used to take a break. But while I'm like after the break, if I'm studying, I'll give my full, madam, like full pledged. I studied and I solved questions, madam.
So another very important point is that in this journey, never feel underconfident and never be overconfident, because both these conditions are harmful. And as he had rightly coined the new name for these situations, don't we feel that you are having the false positive, because overconfident, it could be a false positive situation. And don't be low also, this could be a false negative also. Okay, so be in balance, because everything in balance will work. And that's why we say that balanced diet and the balanced thing is everywhere, it is going to help you. So, Dr. Marin, it was nice talking to you. And once again, many, many congratulations to you and your parents on your this great success in this examination. And we all wish for your bright future in coming time. So, God
Thank you
bless you.
so much, madam. I'm again thanking the entire Miss team. Without a Miss team, without the guidance, I would have not made it here, madam.
Okay. Thank you, Vita. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much, madam.
God bless you.
Thank you, madam.